Alright, ladies and gentlemen, recently I decided to check out the Bloodsport, a movie in a popular action movie genre about dancing competitions, but the entire concept is totally ripped off from the game Mortal Kombat. So much so that the main character in Bloodsport is basically a clone of one of game's characters. The movie begins with the preparation of a hall for a dance competition called Kumite, and while the hall is being set up, the contestants are busy prepping too. Some are building arm strength, others are training their legs. I have no idea what this guy is training. Next up we have introductions. This is Chong-Li. The guy used to break ice the old-fashioned way. And this is Ray Jackson, the sidekick of the main character.
I love anything with full contact. Need a few more scars on my face.
There are no scars on your face. And our main guy, Frank Dux, who just came to visit his sensei. Too bad, Sensei Steven Seagal is not home right now, but Frank can still say hi to Shidoshi, this drunk loser lying in a bed with a hangover.
How are you feeling?
One day he also wanted to be a teacher. Turned out pathetic. The thing is that back in the day, about a couple of years ago, Frank was just a dumb kid hanging out with other dumb kids who were always busy with the stupidest shit dumb kids can come up with.
Yeah?
We tracked them. Of course, everything they did went sideways. They couldn't even steal a katana.
Are you Fujiyama?
You cannot get katana sword by stealing.
What does katana mean? It means Japanese sword.
You didn't flinch. You have fighting spirit.
Don't rush it, Shidoshi. Give him some time. In about a moment or two he will react. But in general, this is a great solution if you want to train your son, but don't have money for a punching bag or a practice dummy. By the time Dukes will realize what is happening around him, Shidoshi's son will have already won the Kumite. The only problem is that Frank's parents might be not that slow and dumb. They might need some excuses for why their son is going to spend most of his free time getting free punches from this karate kid.
Like vines, children need training.
Well, only your son will be training, which Shidoshi conveniently didn't mention.
I brought you here to help me train my son. Don't question me.
Unfortunately, the son's training hit a dead end. After a year of training, it turned out he can't beat shit out of clumsy school bullies. Even the punching bag handles the problem much better.
Someday, I'll fight in the Kumite and make my father proud.
The karate kid did manage to fight in Kumite, but as for making his father proud, not so much. The guy faced off against the Kumite champion, Chong-Li, and after getting seriously pwned, was sent to Valhalla.
I died right there on the platform. Chong-Li stood there and watched him die.
No more training. Stop now.
That is fair. Probably you won't make a good teacher after all. The only thing Shidoshi can teach is how to serve tables for those celebrities who don't want people looking at them. And also how to catch a fish out of a soap pot.
You give a poor man a fish and you feed, you teach him to you give him.
This is why Frank sought help from a real sensei, a true master.
Teach me. I can do it.
Can I laugh in your face?
Finally, Steven Seagal agrees to prepare Frank to the next Kumite.
And don't think from here we can't hurt you.
By tradition, the Kumite takes place in a city with affordable accommodations, Hong Kong. It is a small town where everybody knows each other, so Frank witnesses the Jacksons' unfailing attempt to find himself a wife.
Hey, babe. Wanna go out with a real big man? No, huh? Too handsome for you, huh, honey?
And here we have April O'Neil, a not-so-competent journalist struggling with the basic task of reporting on the upcoming sport competition.
You two are here for the Kumite, aren't you?
Kumite?
What is comedy?
Girl, stop bothering random people with the questions. Try asking someone who actually knows something about the Kumite. For example, what about Jackson? He doesn't seem to be able to stop speaking about the secret event with everyone he meets.
Name's Ray Jackson.
I'm Frank Dukes.
You want to see some real fighting, you can see me fight at the Kumite.
So right after they meet, Frank and Ray become inseparable friends. They've got a lot in common. They are both from America. Even though you wouldn't guess that from Duck's accent.
No. It's Dukes.
With the guide, the duo reaches the Kumite venue. And since Frank looks more like a ballet dancer than a fighter, he has to prove he can stand on a runway long enough so his opponents can beat all shit out of him.
Then show us the dim mak.
What the hell is a Dimmac?
It is an old technique to test the quality of bricks. Specifically, these guys are suspicious about the bottom bricks quality.
Bottom one.
Doing the Dimmac needs a little bit of a warm-up. Gotta remember everything Sensei told you about those strikes. Whatever, enough about the Kumite. Let's check out these guys.
Mrs. Tanaka. Mrs. Tanaka.
Mr. Tanaka.
Mrs. Tanaka.
Mr. Tanaka is very ill.
Look, we're not trying to...
Mrs. Tanaka.
Their adventure is way more interesting than those boring mixed-style fightings. They are chasing Frank Dukes because the colonel thinks that Hong Kong is a too risky city for a young man.
Jesus Christ, if anything happens to Dukes in Hong Kong, then I don't want to see your face again. Understand?
Chill, Colonel. Frank is already a big boy. He knows what to expect and when.
Inspector Chen, we all know that the Kumite is happening here in Hong Kong.
This isn't news anymore. Everyone in Hong Kong, I think in the whole China, knows about the Kumite. Everyone except the journalist. She's more interested in finding a friend for a night.
You come upstairs with me for an interview.
The romantic moment is ruined by Van Damme. He seems to believe that he can buy a girl from her boyfriend, even though he doesn't have a lot of money. But looks like Janice is set for tonight with someone much better. But the next night she is going to promise to Dukes, at least if he has some interesting story to tell on the interview.
Was there ever a time that you had to use karate to defend yourself or another person?
This one time, at the supermarket, this girl was getting robbed by a big guy. And the noble thing to do was to stop him to save her.
Dylan!
What was... What?
This is unprofessional.
Although as for Kumite, there is not a whole bunch of what to talk about. People just come together at the same place and kick each other's asses. And since the tournament is only held for 3 days and there are a lot of competitors, fighters must face multiple opponents every single day. So it is common to step on the runway straight from the doctor's office. Anyway, as I told before, who cares about those boring fights? What's up with the agents? They don't seem to do a lot of work, and probably, if they hadn't been put at the same hotel as Frank, the agents would never have run into him.
Okay, Dukes, you know why we're here.
Taking you back, Frank. Let's go.
Frank isn't ready to leave beautiful Hong Kong just yet, so the only chance for him to escape is to dodge the elite police and the secret elite agents. The following day, Janice ditched the Frank once more. She's staying with this dude for a free ticket to the show. Although, as for show, she doesn't seem to enjoy it that much, cringes a lot, gets distracted by constant phone calls. Meanwhile, on the ring, there is something interesting happening. For example, Jackson has some win strategy. It is called belly fight. We all know the master of this style.
This is my fighting pose.
Yeah.
And from here, I might do this. I've already killed you, but I have this now.
Right?
He is very weak. Semi-comatose.
It's very serious.
But the doctor says you're gonna be okay.
Janice is not happy about the boys having fun. She's ready to ruin the party, even if it means calling cops.
You're being arrested for obstructing an officer by filing a false police report.
Okay, I have to go to work. I don't have time for this, sir. I have to go to work.
So you called it?
No, I didn't. I don't know who called you.
And the police would have ruined the whole party. But Frank Dukes took out both Hong Kong officers, so now he can keep on competing for the Kumite championship title.
How do you feel today, Deuce?
Feel good.
Deuce, my man.
And the road to the championship doesn't look all that hard. It was like Frank won the title with his eyes closed. All he needs is to remember his sensei's advices from time to time, and boom, the prize katana is in his hands.
He did exactly what I said, and exactly what I wanted to happen happened, and I was very, very proud of him.
I mean, it was an amazing kick. I mean, where did you develop it?
I learned that kick, 40 years ago, or worked for the last 35 years or so to perfect it.
After that, he visits Ray, but he is so wasted from the boredom on the hospital bed that he can't put together a congratulatory message.
Anytime, any place, anywhere. Anytime, anywhere. By the way, next time you Anytime, find